was at a networking event recently, and some advice I got from this friend of mine who was familiar with our content said that I should drink less on camera because it will help preserve a sense of professionalism that I apparently currently lack, that might cost me some jobs in the future. But today, we're talking about a very sensitive issue, and I can't actually do it sober, so. PUBG, Plunkbat, Pubba Gubba, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, whatever you want to call it, it sold a metric shitload of copies. That is the official measurement. It sold a shitload of copies, and it's just kind of one problem that I have with it. It's not a good video game.
Stop! You violated the law. Pay the court a fine or serve your sentence.
I should warn you as well that normally these are like funny or interesting or entertaining or something. I was trying to think of a name for this show. I was going to call it the DCM I Hate Pie Show, but that seems, I don't know, reductive. Also, it kind of sounds a bit like I forgot that I had to like give it an interesting name for like a show, so I just was like, let's call it my Twitter handle. Today, we're talking about why PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds is actually terrible. Now, I played some 400 hours. Hang on, how many? It's like 100, 200 hours? Let me check. Oh, only 135 hours. What am I talking about? I played 135 hours of this video game. I'm a newbie. I'm fresh meat right off the block to be killed very early on. And I've won a bunch of games, and I've lost a bunch of games. I've gotten relatively good at playing the video game. Something's happened over time that I've noticed with PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. And first, let's get this out of the way. It sold a lot of copies. Game's really hard to make. I couldn't make a better game, except that I probably could, and so could you. And here's why.
Your stolen goods are now forfeit.
PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds is entirely bought assets. Like, literally everything in the game is bought from an asset store, and then kind of jammed together with duct tape and plastic and super glue, and then kind of Frankenstein to life by a server that never quite works in the first 100 people. And it takes till about, I don't know, 20 minutes into a game before you can open a fucking door. Doors do not work properly in PlayerUnknown's. That's like one of the main mechanics. They're like if you popped into, like you pop the disc in your drive for Assassin's Creed Origins, and you were up there with Bayek, and you push your wrist and nothing happened because the blade didn't work half the time. I didn't realize how mad it was about doors till just then. But it's like insane. It's like actually an insane thing that is true about this video game, is that the doors don't work, and we're not all talking about that all the fucking time, while the developers are organizing invitationals claiming their game is esports ready, when literally for what amounts to 30% of your playtime in any given match, if you go to the end, you're probably gonna open a door half the time and it's not gonna fucking work. That's buck wild to me. That's crazy. Now, I've been playing on the test server today because they've done a bunch of UI fixes. The vaulting's in. The game plays better. It feels better. It's smoother. It looks a bit different, and not in a good way. But, they've updated it. Clearly, they've been working on it. They've been trying to polish some of the finer details. But what they haven't been polishing is the doors, which is still insane. That's the first thing you fix on your list of priorities on your whiteboard. Derek, put a whiteboard up here. Do a virtual whiteboard. I'm going to list things, and then when I say them, I want you to edit them in there. And number one, first thing you need is when the game crashes, make it do that less. They've done that. They've got kind of good at that. It crashes way less often, but still, when I boot it up, it doesn't work very well. But, thing one, too much work. Don't worry about it. Just cross that off the list. Thing two, it's a video game where you land on an island, and then you walk through an area, and then you go into a house. That's the main mechanic of the game, is you go into houses and you take things from those houses to then go and do good murders on people. But number two on the list apparently isn't make sure that the vehicle through which your character goes into those houses works. For some reason. They just were like, nah, don't worry about it. Don't fucking worry about it. We got a invitational tournament to... What? You got a tournament? Nah. Yeah, listen, you're a board director, and I guess I have a question for you. Yeah, what's up? What can I do you for? Well, I noticed that you've been spending a lot of money on developing these invitationals and organizing them, and I was wondering, our core player base is complaining a lot that they can't open doors. Should we look at that at all? No, don't worry about it. We got a tournament to organize. Come on, that was a dumb roleplay, by the way. I don't know if that was actually a joke or not. Boy howdy. But I think the reason that they get away with it is because a lot of the core gameplay mechanics are thoroughly enjoyable. In my opinion, I think one of the biggest problems with the game is it's sort of like...
Then pay with your blood!
PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds is KFC, right? It's like, it's fine, but like, it's not necessarily what you want to eat. Like, you eat it when you have to, and it does give you diarrhea. And I only say that because I played DayZ back in the heyday, back when DayZ was like the thing, and it was amazing and fantastic. And PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, if DayZ is like a 10-year-old car with really good aircon and kind of shoddy Bluetooth, PUBG is a bike with no wheels that has a fan on it, and because it's got the fan, you kind of think they're the same thing, but they're not the same. You can't take the bike. You can't take someone on the bike on a date. In PUBG, you can't take PUBG on a date. It's also really hot at the moment, so I'm just like sweating. It's just like I'm sweaty everywhere. It's in my moustache, which is kind of gross. I know it's an early access game, and that means that we should give it some leeway, but like also DayZ is still in fucking early access, so it's like, what, you know, can go worse than PUBG, because you can actually play PUBG, you can't actually play DayZ so good. One of my biggest frustrations with the game is that they keep telling us that they're going to make these changes and things are going to get better, and then they go, oh yeah, 2 weeks, vaulting in 2 weeks, yeah, these updates in 2... It never happens. Like, it's fine if you're like, guys, this game is really complicated and hard because we didn't really build it on an engine, we just kind of bought all the stuff and slapped it together with duct tape. Sorry, we'll try and fix it. That's not what they do, though. They go, no, guys, 2 weeks, don't worry about it. We got 2 weeks. Yeah. Their Twitter account is basically just like this kind of font of lies. It's a viper's nest of untruth. It's other similar metaphors that I can't think of right now. But my point is, did I have a point? Man, it's gonna be a weird video. My point is that PUBG is not good, and I think maybe unpopular, and don't get me wrong, I like it, but I think it's a bad video game, and I think maybe it's part of the reason why our standards have lowered a bit. Here comes my famous segment, Duncan on Millennials. I think it's part of our generation's problem that we think trash is good. Like, we thought that Slender Man was scary. He's a dude with long arms in a suit. That's not horror. That's not horror. Y'all got The Thing, y'all got Alien and shit, and we got a guy in a hat with a tie, his arms are a bit long. I think PUBG is maybe a bit symptomatic of that, where it's like, it does feel like DayZ a lot of the time, but it's not the same thing. It's nowhere near as good, and that's buck wild, but we've just accepted that as something that, you know, we kind of let it in the house. We said, come in, sit down on our couch, and we said, yeah, you can stay the night, and PUBG is still living with us 3 months later, and he's bought new furniture, even though he's not paying rent. Man, I did not expect that analogy to go right when. There's no point to this video. There's no point to this video. There's a fucking lava lamp in the background. This isn't professional. Look at this fan. I should have put that out of frame. It looks messy as hell. Look at this moving box. Are you kidding me? This is not a professional setup. This is exposed cables and shit. Now someone's mowing outside, so I have to end the video.
Stop! You violated the law. Pay the court a fine or serve your sentence. Your stolen goods are now forfeit. Then pay with your blood!